Hey guys, today I want to go over the firebase section of this class, and in order to do this I'm going to create a brand new React Native app. I just ran the command React Native init, and I went ahead and I opened this project, and as you can see this is on the default page. Now I'm going to go ahead and add the routes. So in order to do this I'm going to have to create two pages. I went ahead and I opened my application instead of Sublime, and I'm actually going to use this sort of as a stable or a blueprint, if you will. And I have this indexed at iOS, and I basically need three pages. I need one page being register, I need login, and I need forgot. So I'm just going to go down the list, and this one is register. I'm going to delete this section down here and just say register. Save this as register.js. Now make sure to save this in your folder. Don't go ahead and save it inside of iOS or Android. This goes into the root folder of your React Native app. So I save register capital R, and I deleted this import at the bottom. Now this is going to be login, capital L, login. I'm going to delete this, I'm going to delete the app registry at the bottom. And then say this is login.js. And the last one is going to be forgot. And I'm going to remove this. So I have register, login, forgot, and I'm going to go ahead and reload my app. Of course, nothing changes. I have to actually navigate to these pages. So I'm going to copy over the render function, and I put it inside of this gist or outside JSX, and you can copy it if you need to, but this goes inside of index. And I'm actually going to gut this out and paste this in. Now, I want you to notice how I did that. What I did is that I gutted out everything but the curly brace that opens up this component and the curly brace that closes it. So I know that if I paste this in here, I'm currently dealing with the correct number of curly braces. And I pasted this in. So I have a render scene and I have a render. Now this requires me to give it an initial route or an initial page. And that initial page is going to be login. And I'm going to have to say import login from login. This is just so I have this page. Now if I save this and I go back to my app and I reload, it says cannot find variable navigator. And that, whenever you see that cannot find variable, I have to look at the imports and I have to say I have to add navigator. Reload. Now we have login. So the next error you could have gotten is you didn't have this login page, and I save it and I reload. This cannot find variable login. So just whenever you see the cannot find variable, pay very close attention to what you're importing and what you're not importing. And here it's saying it's looking for login. Login didn't exist. I had to add that here. Also, another error that you might have had is if you, for example, had app registry on more than one page. So app registry goes on the index and it's telling the app name that's going to go by. So if I paste this in, for example, register.js, I should expect some form of error. Well, I would get the error if I go to register, but the error is you cannot have register component twice. So, okay, so I have my three pages, and now I need to create a link to the other page. So I'm actually going to close down index.ios for now. I don't need it currently. I just want a way to go from login to register to forgot. So I'm going to create a button here, and the way we capture touch events is with touchable highlight. Now I've been seeing this error a lot. You guys misspell highlight, and you get a really funky error. If I reload, it'll say undefined component or component doesn't exist. So make sure that you type touchable highlight correctly. And I believe we shouldn't get this error. Okay, now this error is that React children are expected to receive a single React element child. That's because touchable highlight expects a child. So I'm just going to add a view in here to sort of quench that error. I'm going to reload, and cool. Now we have a view inside the touchable highlight. Now it doesn't capture anything or show anything, but I'm going to go ahead and move forward. All right, now let's make a button here. So I'm going to go to login, and I put a view inside the touchable highlight. I'm actually going to make it look like something, and I'm going to add a style to this. A style called box. Now I'm going to add some CSS for box. Now I have to add text in there. If I start typing here, it won't actually work. It says raw text must be wrapped in a text component. Okay, fair. So okay, great. So now I have this word on the inside, and I am going to center it so it's aligned south. Cool. And I want to center the text, and it's justify content. Yeah. Now I want to increase the font size. So really I want 3 buttons here. I want a login button, so leave that as login. I'll actually make this green so it makes more sense. So I could delete. Okay, cool. Now I want another button. Okay, I'm actually going to make this say go to register, so we know that works. And in order to create a link, you do create a linker. Now this function is completely up to you what you call it. I'm calling mine linker, and linker takes account, and it's this dot props dot navigator dot push. Okay, now when I press this, it will trigger that. Now I need to know the page I'm going to, so let's register. Now it's going to say register doesn't exist. We cannot find variable register, and as you know from before, we have to import it. Okay, cool. Now it's imported. Now I reload. Right, so we have an error. Element type is invalid, expected a string or built-in components or a class function. Whoops. It's this.linker.bind. Sorry. I'm gonna reload. Right. Yay, it works. So that goes to register, and on register, alright, so really this should say, I guess go to register is fine. I want another link to forgot password. All right, now this is too close. Now I want to move this down. So I'm going to add a margin to box. I'm going to say margin top 10. Let's get a space. And this is going to go, so that was register, this is forgot. So in order to add forgot, I have to go up here and I have to say import forgot from forgot. So register, I forgot here. Okay, great. Now this has to stay forgot. I'm going to reload. Go to forgot page. Go to register page. Cool. Now what I want to do is, I guess, I'm going to take a back button. So I'm going to create a button to put on the register page that goes back and on the forgot page that goes back. So let's go ahead and do that. I guess it can go up here. First, I'm going to style the button. This is on register. Sure. But I want this button to be in the top left-hand side. So I'm going to have to go to container. So currently, this is horizontally centered. So this is vertically centered because of justified content on container. Container wraps this entire page. And a justified content center. So if I just delete that, things will all be pushed to the top. Cool. Now, I want this back button to not be in the center, and it's horizontally centered because container has a line item center. If I delete that and I go to register, it'll be in the top left. Cool. Now what I want to do is I want to move him down. So I'm going to go to back button and I'm just going to say a margin top of 15. That's too low. Let's say 30 and a margin left of 30. Okay, let's say margin left 25. All right, so I got a back button. Now I could put stuff in there if I want. I can put text. And the way, so if I start to write a side angle brace, it will give me an error. It says unexpected token, and it thinks that I'm basically trying to start another tag here. So the way you insert a curly brace is I have to escape it, and I do curly brace, quote, and then the stuff inside. And now, if I reload, and then I go to register, it's there. I can, of course, style this. Styles that. Okay, so color, font size, align, self, center. Justify content, center. That made them there. Let's try 32. Cool. Let's round him. So rounding CSS is border radius. I believe it's either 25 or 50. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Alright, cool. We got the back button. It's a little bit too close on the left. Let's try that. Whatever, that's fine. So that's there, and now I want it to go back, so I need to put a touchable highlight around it. So I have to import touchable highlight up top. So in register, I'm going to say comma touchable highlight, and I'm going to say, oops, include touchable highlight, close touchable highlight. I'm going to correct the indentation. I'm going to close this tab, and I'm going to say on press equals this dot, and I have to create a function here. So I'm going to call it returner. And returner is going to have this dot props dot navigator, oops, dot pop. And it's saying touchable highlight on press this dot returner dot bind this. And that will work. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to reload, I'm going to register, I'm going to press this button, and it goes back. Only thing that I don't like is that when I press this button and I hold it, it makes the whole top of the page go black. I don't like that. So I'm going to say underlay color. And this is just the color you get when you click it. And I'm going to say transparent. Press register, press back. And it works. Now I want to put this on forgot as well. So I'm gonna take this, I forgot, at this up top. Gonna take touchable highlight, this on top. I'm going to take this whole touchable highlight section, take this, I'm gonna copy it over. And now I need the styles for back butt, back out. So I'm gonna take, and I need to change container, so let me just do this. I'm gonna replace container with this. Now, if I go from register and forgot, it works. Cool. So I have a back button. Now what I need to do is go ahead and add touchable highlights. So, I'm sorry, add text inputs. So I guess I'm going to start with register first. And I am going to create a state. And on register, I want to keep track of email. And I want to keep track of password. That's all I care about right now. Cool. So I know I need a text input. I'm going to add it up here. And I'm actually going to cheat, and I'm going to look at my little cheat sheet for touchable text input. And I'm going to see what I have here. Now I want to put it under register. This indentation's a bit off. I have this class called RAM input here. And I have secure text entry true. Secure text entry will give the buttons. So as they're typing in a password, it will hide what they're typing with little circles. So I have to add RAM input. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go down. And it expects a height and a width. So I'm going to say a height of 50, a width of 300. I'm going to say align self center, and background color cyan. And I'm going to reload this. This is on the register page, and it's here. Okay, this is fine for the password. Now I need one for email. So the changes to say email. Say enter. It shows that email here. This is the placeholder text. This is what shows. So it's like the enter password there is going to say email. Let's say enter email. I don't want secure text entry. I'm going to save this. I'm going to reload. I'm going to go to register. And I have this. I don't want them to be that close. So we're going to add a margin top of 5. And, well, let's say 10. I'm going to go, whoops. I'm going to go to register. I'm going to have this here. Now, the placeholder text color, I'm just going to say, what should I say? Try green, see what it looks like. I guess green's fine. So I got green in both places. I'm going to register, the password, email, and now I want to go ahead and I need this same thing, but inside of login. So I'm going to go to login, and under the above the links, I'm going to add these 2 sections. I have to add text input. Cool, and I have to add the styles for RAM input, which is over here. All right, I got that. To reload. Sweet. Now I need one more, and that is inside of forgot. And I am going to copy this, go to forgot, add this to the top of forgot. I'm going to add text input. But you can see that once you start doing this, this is really just, you're doing the same thing over and over. And it isn't really that hard after you see it 5 times. And you'll get more used to it as you do it. So I'm going to just copy over email. I'm going to go to forgot, and I'm going to add the email input under the forgot button. So I have login, the forgot, and register. Now let me just make sure I added the states to each one. I have register has a state. There is no state on login. So I'm just going to copy this over. Simple as that. I don't need I need an email, password, and login. And on forgot, I don't need a password. And that's the start. All right, great. Okay, so let's go ahead and add Firebase. Now I went ahead and I went to Firebase. I signed up for an account, and I went ahead and created a project. This is called Park and Pay. Now I want to go ahead and install this in my React Native application. So I'm going to open up a new terminal. I'm actually going to full screen it so we can see it. I'm going to go, so I'm going to type pwd to see where I am. I'm in my root directory. I'm going to go into my desktop. This is where I have the app. My app is called Yet Another App. So I'm going to cd into that folder. And I'm going to type pwd to see where I am. I'm indeed in my app. And the command is this, npm install firebase --save. Now I'm going to wait for this to finish. Now while this is loading, I have to add some things in. And basically, in order to use it, I have to copy this and paste it inside of login. I have to say import Firebase from Firebase. And I have to add my API key, my auth domain, my database URL, and my storage bucket. Now, in order to get these, I'm going to head over to my Firebase app and go to project settings. And right here is the API key. So that's one down. Next, I need the auth domain. The auth domain is your, let me actually just, okay. The auth domain is your project ID.firebaseapp.com. Okay. Your database URL, you go to database on the left-hand side, and this is that. So you're going to copy that in. And your storage bucket is your project ID.appspot.com. Now, once you have this, you have to put this on the index.ios.js. So I'm going to head there. And I'm going to paste that here. Also, here I have to import Firebase from Firebase. Cool. So I have that import here, and actually I need to import this on every page I'm going to use it. So I'm going to use it on login, so I have it here. I'm going to use it on register, so I'm going to add that there. And I'm going to use that on forgot. So I'm going to add that there on all 3 pages. Okay, great. Now the next thing I have to do is I have to try out something. I have to start the login. Now I'm going to steal this code from another app that I have, just so I make sure that I don't mess this up. All right, now we want to go ahead and set up register. So on register, if I reload, I need a button here. So I want to go ahead and create a button at the end. I'm actually just going to copy. I'm going to start writing touchable highlight down here. I know I want text in here, and I know I want this to. Okay. I just went ahead and copied this touchable highlight down, but everything's different about it. So, especially the function. So I'm going to start out with a style equals styles dot, I guess. Big butt, for big button guys. So I'm going to add big butt, and I'm going to put a comma here, and I'm going to say it has a width of 300, a height of 50, and aligns self center. And I have big butt here, and I have text, and I don't care what's in here. I don't care much, so I'm gonna make this view close itself just so I can see it. And now I want this on press to do something. I'm gonna say this dot submit dot bind that. What's going on? Bind this. Now, what you saw I did there is that I had the word of submit, and as programmers, we tend to avoid certain things. Like we avoid the word return or submit or if, things that are already defined by the language. So I went ahead and added submit me, and even as you see here, I didn't write this method as return. I wrote it as return something else after return, because I know that submit or return might already be taken by the language. So I tend to just add some sort of extra letters after it. So I made the submit me. Now right now I just want to submit me to alert test, just so I know it works. Gonna reload, gonna register, and nothing happened. So I have big butt here. Big butt doesn't have a color. So I'm gonna say background color of red. I guess orange. It's orange, so go back, go register. It doesn't really follow the flow of our page. Let me just say green. And margin top 10. Oops, 10. Reload, register. Okay, that's fine. So I have this text here, and I can go ahead and press submit. It says an alert. Cool. Now I want this to log me in. Now, register. Now the command to register should be written right here, and I know that this .state .email is the email, and I know that this .state .password is the password. And the reason why I know this is true is because in the text input, I provided it this called onChangeText, this attribute, and this attribute is given by text input. And it says that as the person types, change something or trigger this function. And this function says, take this, which is this instance of register, and change the state to be whatever the person typed in. And change the email state to this and the password state to that. So up here, I should have an email and a password written. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I have it saved here. And this is the command for telling Firebase to create a user. Now I have to have Firebase imported here, and on index I have to have Firebase initialized here. Initialized. So once both of those things are done, so Firebase here, Firebase there, and then on the page, which is register Firebase here, I can go ahead and start telling Firebase to do things. So I'm saying Firebase, do an authentication, and create user with email and password. Now it expects two things, an email and password. The first thing it expects is the email. So the email is going to be this.state.email. The second thing is going to be this.state.password. Now, what you're going to see a lot is this .then, and .then is in response to a promise. Now, a promise in JavaScript is something that might take a long time to do, and the code isn't going to wait for it to execute. It's just going to keep going about its business. However, when the execution is finished, I'm either going to get a catch or I'm either going to get an error or a success. And the way you catch an error is .catch, and the way you trigger a success is .then. So when I say .then, I trigger a function, and I could say that this function says an alert success. A couple extra S's there. And now this has a parentheses. So that will catch it. Now if I wanted to catch an error, it's just .catch. So I can do this. I can say .catch triggers a function. That function says alert, so it triggers alert E. So this is saying that when you catch an error, this is what you catch, the E, and then alert out the E. So that's going to alert out the error. So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to reload, and I'm going to go to register, and I'm going to type in an email. I'm going to type in an email here. Yeah, I wish I picked another color, so I'm going to make the placeholder text, to make the color, this controls the color of the text that you type in. I'll make it red. And it worked. So this might not have worked from you from the get-go. Pardon me, allergies. So this might not have worked for you from the get-go. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. Okay, I'm back. So what I was saying before I sneeze is that this might not work for you. Currently it worked for me. So if I go back to database and then authentication, I did that. I just need to reload authentication. You can just reload the page if you want, but it takes too long. So I click around to get back to authentication. You should see your email here. Now, if you don't, and you go to sign in method here, you see this will be clicked off, email and password. If you go to this arrow, you can sort of enable it, and this will work. And yeah, that's what you need to do in order for this to actually be turned on. And now this should work. But now what we want to try is we want to try submitting it again. So I'm going to try submitting it again, and I should get an error. This email address is already in use by another account. Great. Now let me try making an email address that is not valid. Just my first name, not last name. Submit, email address is badly formatted. And that is because if I go back to register and I go back to the top, that is because right here in this submit me method, I say .catch. So if something bad happened, if I get an error, I say function E means capture the error, and alert E is alert the error. So this is Firebase creating this message for me. Now I can't actually jump into this error if I wanted to change it, be more specific, or highlight the field that was incorrect. So I could highlight the email field in this case saying that, hey, you typed this section wrong. I can't actually do this. And that's pretty much it for register. Now it's literally the same thing. Now, if I wanted to email the user saying, hey, congrats signing up, right? I could say the function capture the input or capture the response of the user, and then still do the alert, and I believe it's user.send user verification. Now let me actually go and look up that code just to make sure that I can do this correctly. And if you press Command Shift F, it will go ahead and search directories for things. Yeah, that didn't work out for me. So let me actually just Google that. Hmm. Yep, and I had it right. It was send user. Oh, send email verification. Sorry. Okay, great. Now I'm going to go ahead and retry this. I am going to go to. I'm going to go back. I'm going to reload. I'm going to go to register. I'm going to add another email. So I'm going to say. It should be at the top of my email. Nope, guess not. Oh, I know why. I didn't reload. So in order to make this go again, I didn't reload my code. So I'm going to delete this account. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to reload. I'm going to go to register. I'm going to say. Okay. Should hear an email on my phone in a second. There we go. No reply. Sweet. And it worked. So that is that. And next, I want to do forgot. And forgot is send password reset. It's literally almost the same thing. I'm actually going to copy this from register to forgot. I'm going to copy over the CSS of the button, which is this, which is big button. So I'm going to copy over this touchable highlight to forgot, and I'm going to indent it correctly, just after the input. So I have the submit me function. I don't have the CSS, it's called big butt, so I'm going to copy that over. Copy, save that. So I have the CSS, and now I just need the function, and that is send password reset email. And all it expects is an email. So I'm going to, I don't need that, I just need this. So, all right, so I have submit me here, and I'm going to reload. I'm going to go to, I forgot. I'm gonna go to forgot. I'm gonna type my email in here. This is annoying. I'm gonna go to forgot, and I have this placeholder color and make it red. Forgot alan@loopfly.com. I'm going to press enter. Please check your email. All right, so let me see. I'm going to my email. I'm going to reload, and here it is. Please reset your password. I'm going to click that. Change the password to Ice Ice Baby. And there we go. All right, cool. So that's forgot. Now I need to do sign in, and I am going to copy once again the CSS for Big Butt. I'm going to take this. I'm going to go to login. Add Big Butt. I'm going to take the actual button. I'm going to go to login. I'm going to add that button under forgot. Well, it should be above, I guess. Really, that doesn't matter. It's just I have to show you the concept. All right, so I have login here. This is the button. I need to add the method and the CSS. I have the CSS, so now it's just the method. I'm going to copy the structure of the method from forgot, and I had to login. And now your login should look like this. Now, it's not send password reset. I'm just going to copy this. It's sign in with email and password. Whoops. It is sign in with email and password. And it's this.state.email, comma, this.state.password. And it will alert you are now logged in. I'm going to save that. I'm going to go back to here. And it's your, I'm just going to see if I can press enter if I'll press the email and password. The email just is badly formatted. Cool. And now I'm going to try it. I'm going to try, I hate this. I'm going to make this red. And if you remember my password, do you remember it? Ice, ice, baby. Click it. You're now logged in and everything works. And this is how you do login or authentication in Firebase in React Native. Thanks.